just the community, the support has been great. I've only been here for a couple days, and just seeing the overwhelming welcoming here. We understand that there's high expectations, and we expect to meet them and exceed them. So it's exciting. I'm excited to get to work, excited for the guys to get back on campus and to meet them. I thank Jay for the opportunity. I've known him for a while, and we believe in the same thing and how we want to play defense. And I think we put together a really good staff that you guys get to know, and it'll be fun. I think we're going to put a good product on the field that'll make Fort Collins community really proud. Open up for questions.
CSU. What did you learn most being a defensive coordinator this year at Montana State?
It's just so many different hats that you got to wear, and it's not just about football. It's really about you go from being a position coach to you get to know your players. I had to get to know everybody on the defense and know how they ticked and know their strengths and weaknesses and really find identity for each player. What's the best thing that each guy can do well, and let's try to use them. Because not everybody can do everything, but if you're a great third down pass rusher and you might be a better pass rusher than the starting defensive end that's better against the run, we'll put them in the game. And getting those guys to buy into those roles. And getting to know those guys and just being really, really organized and having a plan every time we walk in that meeting room. Those are things that I knew, but just how organized you need to be. It was fun. I grew a lot over the year.
Where do you think what is your philosophy on playing defense? And where did that really kind of stem from?
You know, my philosophy on playing defense, it stemmed from my time with Scotty Hazelton. He's a mentor of mine. He's a defensive coordinator at Michigan State. He coached me at North Dakota State, so a lot of my values and principles come from him. And it was kind of confirmed with me going to work in other systems as an assistant, and not just because from him, but I seen it done other ways. I think it's the best way to do it. There's other ways to do it, but when you look at our defense, I hope when you cut on the film and fans come to the game, you're going to see us run into the ball really, really well. You're going to come to practice, you're going to see us run into the ball being physical and having fun. And we're going to execute at a really high level. We're going to ask guys to do like 1 to 3 things really, really well so we can think about what the offense is doing, so we can play fast. We're not going to ask the guy to do 5 things and actually be good at it. He's not. We're going to ask him to, like Muhammad, we want you to play a 5 technique, a 9 technique, and a 6 technique. That's it. And you're going to play really, really fast, so now you can think about what the offense is doing. And his talent is going to show even more. We want our corners to be able to play press, play a third, and play cover. That's it. And now we can think about what the offense is doing. And we know splits, and we know where the running back is set. But we're going to play hard, and that's on the players. We're going to play fast. We want our players to know what's coming. We want them to be able to read their key and be able to play fast. So playing hard is different than playing fast. Playing hard is effort. How hard are you going to go? Playing fast is me being able to react and know what's coming from the offense. And then playing together. Football is a game that you don't work football, you play football. You got to play together and have fun. And I can have fun knowing that I'm the defensive end and I spilled and the linebacker made the play outside. That's fun. Let's get up and celebrate. That's what it'll look like in a nutshell.
Eddie Hurst with the Reporter Herald.
How you doing,
obviously
Eddie?
have a lot of history with defensive backs. What are kind of your initial thoughts on CSU's secondary? They had some struggles last year, but returning decent amount of young talent.
Yeah. Well, I've developed young talent over the years. I think we definitely need to add some pieces for competition. Competition brings out the best in guys. But we got some tools. Nick Howell, I'm excited about him. I'm excited about Francis. I'm excited. We got some guys that we can fit, and I think we're going to hone their skills in and find out what they do best and get them playing fast and playing really confident. It's nothing like a confident secondary that's having fun. And it won't happen overnight. It's going to be a lot of days of grinding and getting to know those guys and getting to know what makes those guys tick. And in spring ball, it's going to be some tough days. They're going to get to know me. It's not going to always be great. But by the time we get to September 3rd, we'll be ready.
Kevin Lytle, Fort Collins, Coloradoan. What's the process been like of familiarizing yourself with this roster, recruiting, just kind of the whirlwind of it all, and obviously going to play a national championship?
Yeah, man, it was crazy. So I didn't want to do, I don't even know when I accepted the job or told Jay I wanted to come, but it was at least 3 or 4 weeks. And first thing I wanted to do was make sure we can get to the national championship. So I didn't really do anything I thought I owed it to Coach Vegan to be completely focused on Montana State. Then we had a 3-week bye week, so we went to work on hiring the staff. So we hired Buda Williams from North Dakota State. Ironically, that we ended up playing in the national championship. I knew him really well from my time at North Dakota State and just our ties together. We run a similar system. We speak the same language. We hired AP, who's a young, really, really bright guy, one of the smartest guys I've ever been around. He played in our system. At Wyoming, he played for Scotty Hazelton. We know him really well, and he did a great job for us at Montana State. He's really my right-hand man. And so we made those hires, and then I said, all right, now that we got those guys hired, let's get to know the roster and what we need to do recruiting-wise and what we can do bringing a couple pieces in mid-year-wise. So we did that over those couple weeks during the bye week, and then once our players came back on campus, we didn't do anything CSU. So we're a little bit behind, but we owed it to try to go win a national championship. We owed it to those guys. So we had a break where our guys were on break. So Christmas Day, we were calling recruits and got on Zoom and was watching Devin Phillips like, okay, we got some players here. And watching Muhammad like, all right, we got a pass rusher here. And watching Nick Howell, he's a young guy, but he's going to be a player. And our linebackers and we Daquan, we got some tools and kind of where we see them. We spent some time on Zoom doing that, and then some pieces and talked about where we can add some guys recruiting-wise. So we did that, and then after that, we kind of shut it down and said we're focused on the national championship game, and now we're here for a force. So.
Justin, Michael, DNVR, given that you guys are a little bit behind, do you feel okay about your position, moving forward as far as recruiting goes, or do you kind of feel the pressure that you got to make up for lost time?
Well, we don't want to. We want to make sure we make good decisions. So, and part of recruit, we want to make sure we take guys that we know what we're getting. So we're not. If we take a guy from the portal, it's going to be guys that we know, that we have some background with, or we have a coach that coached them that can give us a good reference about them. We don't. It might be a guy from Alabama, but we don't know him. We're not taking them. That's kind of where we're at right now. It's important for us to know these kids and that we can get something out of them. If he can come in and be a 20 or 30 snap guy, and we know exactly what we're getting, we're going to take a 20 or 30 snap guy that we know his character and he's going to fit with the team here. So,
is that something that you feel like will be kind of the way you recruit moving forward, or is that more just because this is the first year and you really got to be able to trust the guys as you kind of lay the foundation?
Well, when you look at just in this portal world right now, we think moving forward, that's probably how we'll operate. Whether it's a kid that we recruited, we sat down and looked at all the success that we had on transfers, and we said, all right, who are the dudes that over the course of our careers we've had success with, and all of them we had some type of background with them. Whether you recruited him, maybe you didn't get him, and he left and he remembered you, and you said, I know this kid, I know his family, I know what he's all about. We know what we're getting from him. Whether it's a coach that knew him, he left and went somewhere. There's usually a connection with success. We took 3 guys when I was at Montana State, and all of them had a connection to people we knew personally or we recruited personally. And then high school-wise, you'll have time to get to know the guys and get to know those guys over time. So that doesn't, you don't really need that connection. You'll have, we'll start on 2023s as soon as we hit the road. So we'll have time to get to know those guys over a full year.
What's the best part for you about rejoining Jay's staff?
Man, Jay is so. I explain it to guys like I don't know exactly how old Jay is, but nobody does, because he acts like he's 40, 45, and nobody would question it. But if you look at his resume, he's like, all right, that's not the right number. But he's so energetic. He loves the players. He's genuine. He's going to tell you exactly how he feels. You don't have to guess. And that's a good person to work for. And he lets you do your job. And he called me and he trusts me to do a good job, and I'm going to take it and run with it and do a good job.
Is that just your nice way of calling him an old man?
No, I mean, he's a young old man. I mean, he's got an energy to him that sometimes has more energy than me. I'm like, all right, I better go drink a cup of coffee or something. So.
How big a compliment was it that when he called and offered you the job and then told you, I want you to pick your staff. I'm not going to do it for you. I'm trusting you to pick your staff.
It just confirms how I went about my business, I guess, at Nevada. and just trying to be professional, that somebody would really, really what he's doing, to trust me with half the team and half the staff. So it just confirms that continue to work hard and continue to grind and continue to be really, really detailed, continue to treat people the right way, no matter who it is, and good things will happen. And then also understanding that there's expectations there, high expectations. And I can't wait to go to work and exceed those expectations.
Coach, obviously Jay talked about really wanting, bump and run, man coverage, corners, obviously really critical that you have some really good corners
Mhm.
for that. There's been coaches in the Mountain West over the years that have said there aren't enough good corners to play that style in the Mountain West because they all go to the Alabamas and the Georgias and Clemsons, et cetera. How do you answer that, and how do you find the guys that can do it and you can put them into those cover corners?
I don't want to go against anybody whoever said that. I don't know who said that, but I think if you dig hard enough, you can find some dudes that can run and are physical, and we want athletes. When we look at the high school corner, most of them aren't corners in high school. They're quarterbacks, they're receivers, they're guys with the ball in their hands. So if I'm a high school coach and you're trying to win football games, I'm not putting my best player at corner. I'm giving the best player the ball. So we go look at those guys, and we move them to corner, and we coach them. Do they have the skill set? And you got to develop them. I think there's enough to go around. I think you got to recruit, and you got to work at it. And they may not walk in the door being that, but they'll leave out of the door ready to go. So,
Thanks, Coach.
all right. Thanks a lot.